Why, hello there, everyone. It is GleeCon, and I am back again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on our journey through everything World of Warcraft related. We've been plugging away for some time, doing all of the material that you can possibly think of. If you think that I've missed something that came out before 2004, let me know. I'll plug it. I'll get it in there. I will dig and dive and make sure you get a copy of it from my lips to your ears. What we've been doing lately is a Wetlands run through. We're pretty much done. We're right at the very end, but I felt like it was a little bit too much for an episode last time, so we should be able to finish it off. And depending on the length of this particular episode, we might pick up all the stuff to get ready for Stockades tomorrow as well. So without any more introduction, stay a while and listen. Glee Contessa will be our hero today, our Alliance Human Paladin. That is the sound of guns. So let's kind of look at some of the things I didn't actually mark off on the spreadsheet last time. Let's just start right in there. Okay, so where we left off was with Fiora Longears. We've actually did a pinch past that if we go try and find where we were in Wetlands here. So we did not turn that one in yet. We'll have to. Now we did turn in the Fall of Dun Modr. That's a breadcrumb. So really, if we wanted to be completely accurate, we would mark that one down. We haven't done the... Actually, we did turn in the Eye of Paleth, I believe. Right? Because it's just cleansing the eye now. I don't know why. I just didn't click that one off because I have that one on the other spreadsheet. Yeah, we did that. I just didn't check it. Now, Sully Balloo's letter is a 1, 2, 3, three-step thing we're going to be doing on our as we get towards the end of this episode. MacKreel's Moonshine is a one-off. We'll also do that in a moment. Dark Iron War, I think we're on that right now. Yeah, so we picked up the Dark Iron War, and we're really close to turning it in. That's the only one we actually didn't finish. And we also picked up Thandol Span Part 1. It's a three-parter. We're going to do that too. That's easy. We can solo that one. We didn't do any work on it. And then we picked up a Grim Task, and that one's done, but I'm not even going to quite turn it in yet. Actually, screw it. We're going to mark it off as turned in right now. We'll do that too. That's where we had to kill that warlock. We found him in the basement of the inn. It's the first time I've ever found one in there. In general, I found one. I found him in this building once. I found him in this building back here a few times, and I found him in the camps over here a few times. That was a first, so you got to see it on the last episode yesterday. A first for me.
You got my attention.
Were you able to locate Belgaris the Foul yet, Paladin? He has been evading us for quite some time.
Balgaras, the Foul, is finally dead. While his death will not bring back the many innocent dwarves who died needlessly by his hand, it will help to restore peace of mind to those who survived. With Balgaras dead, the remaining Dark Iron scum should be easy enough to manage. Now we must wipe them out before a new leader is sent to these parts. You have done well, adventurer.
Now, it might not happen until we finish the Dark Iron War, but there is another quest, one that takes us to Stockades. We must have to finish the Dark Iron War first. So, in fighting all of those things, we had such a good group. We did kill all the Tunnelers, Saboteurs, and Demolitionists we need, and we did 8 of the 15 Dark Iron Dwarfs. So we're just going to get the rest of these Dark Iron Dwarfs. They're the easiest ones to kill. You just, unfortunately, have to kill 15 of them. They are elites, but they're level 28 compared to our 35, so we're going to be fine. Speaking of killing elites, man, the Arathi Highlands quests. Oh, that's my sound. I thought it was before it was that person getting something, but that's not. That's the sound of my vengeance kicking in. That's dope. But it's just taking so long. Like, I did one quest today, and that one quest took me an hour and a half. So extraordinarily annoying. There's another Dark Iron Dwarf. We can grab this boy over here. I'm doing the Trollcalar sword line. I'm almost done. The only thing I have left to do pretty much in the Arathi Highlands is the summoning of the princess. It just tabbed as a level 50 elite quest. But I don't really think I think it's just difficult. I don't think the mob is actually level 50. I might try that later today. I don't know how it's gonna go, to be honest. Alright, so we've done two of our remaining 7. I just want to kind of get them. I don't want the riflemen. Those trees are kind of obnoxious. So these are they're all over the camp. Oh, I didn't even see that dude. Dang it. I mean, I could try to 2v whatever these guys. There you go. I just got a crit on there. I'm just gonna see. Get myself a flash of light off. Then try to hit myself with this. And then let's see where we're gonna go. Like I said, these guys are not that tough. Ooh, yeah, I love it. I love it. I can't wait. Seeing how frequently this procs, actually, it's encouraging. It makes me look forward to. I need to hit one more. Oh, I forgot about all these potions I have. Let's get one of those too. Look at that. Oh, juicy, juicy, juicy. There's a couple people over there. Alright, so we are down to needing 3. Good on us. And that time I just didn't realize there was a dude right on the other side of this gate. Probably could have been a little bit more careful. We pulled 2 again. I do not want to fight 2 this time. I feel like it's not going to go well for me. But we're going to see. Homeboy's stunned. I could pull a bubble. But I think I'm just going to run. What's that? Bright armor? What is bright armor? Oh, it's cloth. Well, I had to pull the bubble at the end because he did not appear to be shaking, and I just didn't want to risk it. I could blow up a couple of these. We only have 2 more. I could just get through a couple. What's our... Do we have anything to drink? I have some moist cornbread. What do I have? Oh yeah, I've got a 20 stack plus 2, so we'll do it. And I had 12 potions. It's honestly taking up room. I didn't mind, you know, using one of them. All right, let's get our last 2. Hello. Okay, this guy pulled with the last one, and I just.
It's too far away.
Look at him. He's going back there. I don't want him to be so. There we go. We'll get this one. Wrong one. Okay, so we got this guy, and then we'll have to just get one more. There's one right there. Ideally, you know what, let's kite him a little bit. I wouldn't really know that I would call this kiting. We're just gonna slowly back him out of the gates, so that when he runs, he's not gonna go get any of his buddies. Yeah, decided to go on a journey out there. Alrighty. Okay, and now we're down to the last one. That one is just near friends, and I don't love him padding over there. This guy looks pretty good right here, though. He looks pullable. Alright, so this will be our last one in the Dark Iron War, and I'm pretty sure this must be what opens up our Now that vengeance gives us physical and holy damage increase. But I can hit him with the whole stun. Or just... okay. Alright, nailed it. Go ahead and heal at least once. Let's find out where we're at here.
You upheld your orders well, adventurer.
Sure did.
You have proven yourself to be a valiant soldier and loyal servant to King Magni, and for that I salute you. With the pressure you applied to the Dark Iron encampment, we now stand a chance of driving them off our lands for good. If only the damn reserve would show. You have
Alright, here we go. Here's the Stockades quest.
And your hatred for the Dark Iron scum is as great as my own. There is a task I wish to complete myself, but I am bound by honor to stay with Longbraid. But Morogh has gathered intelligence that proves Cam Deep Fury was a conspirator in the attack on the Thandol Span. It was by Deep Fury's planning that Longbraid lost his kin. Deep Fury is being held for political reasons in the Stormwind Stockade. I want him dead, adventurer. For Longbraid, bring me his head. Bring me his...
Okay, so basically, within the jail, there is a guy, Cam Deep Fury. Now, for political reasons, most likely aka Katrina Prester, he's being kept in the jail. However, the King of the Dwarves doesn't like that and wants this dude dead. So two things can happen here. One, Dark Iron War can be finished. So we can go ahead and check that bad boy off. Huzzah for us. So that's cool. Dark Iron War done. Now the next thing that can happen is we're going to open up the stockades. So we're going to open 3 more columns. Excellent. And now we're going to start this chunk here. Okay, except this is not the Wetlands. It is the Stockades. Alliance only quest, dagnabbit. Okay, and then the first one is, of course, not called James Heil. It is called... actually, let's just go ahead and copy and paste it. It is called The Fury Runs Deep. So there is a lot of quests in this chain, which is why we are... this one may or may not take us more than one day to do, but we picked that one up. All right, so that's for now. I'm only starting that column because we're probably going to work a lot on that today. But before we start going there, we are not fully done because we have the Thandol Span quest line. It's a mini little 3-4-parter. The first part is the only part that's actually difficult, quote unquote. I am just as I keep thinking this right now, as I keep doing these elites and thinking it's just a challenge. It is a real challenge doing these different quests the higher and higher you get because you have less of a chance of someone swooping in to save you out. Alright, so within this bridge, there are these 2 doors. One of them will lead you to a couple of elite Dark Irons. There you go. And then the Dark Iron Saboteur. So, hey, guess what? If you want to fight Saboteurs... here is another place you could fight them. You don't have to fight them within the city itself. And you don't even have to go to camp. So here's another place. Although, Saboteurs are not really one of the hardest. For me, I think the Demolitionists are trickier to find. Now, they're probably going to run also, so... he's going to blow up. Oh, good. We got him before he blew. Now, the whole reason why we're doing this is somewhere in here. There is... I think it's further down. There is... yeah, there he is right there. So, there's the guy we need. Ebenezer Rustlock. So, you search the tiny dwarven corpse engraved into the helmet. You can clearly read Ebenezer Rustlock. It seems as though poor old Rustlock ran into a dark iron ambush. You notice a parchment next to his clenched fist. I don't see that parchment. Report the grim news to Rog Garmison and show him what you found. That's step 2. Then it says, look.
Still no sign of the final shipment of explosives. No sign of the final explosive shipment to the west either. Where are those lollygaggers?
I just like to run from these guys. Because there's no... That's a Dark Iron Bombardier. I guess if you want to have killed the Dark Iron Bombardier, go for it. But there's no, like, special reward or whatever. So Thandol Span 1 is done. And we are picking up Thandol Span 2 and 3. We're going to be doing this whole chain. Bam, bam. Okay, might as well put it right there. So it's right back over here.
You got my attention.
Is there anything that we can read on that? Yeah, Deep Fury's orders. Bumbling fools, my plans called for both bridges to be destroyed simultaneously, and what do you simple-minded thugs do? You only get half the job done, and alert the entire Alliance as to our intentions. Fools, I say. You have one chance to make amends for your actions. We have a backup cache of explosives in the Arathi Highlands, not far from the bridge. Finish the job if you value your measly lives, Cam Deep Fury. There's more evidence that it is that's the guy in the stockades did this.
Oh my, the news is great!
Oh my.
Heavens, no. Poor Rustlock. 'Tis quite a tragedy indeed. We must not let his death pass in vain. This parchment you discovered indicates that Cam Deep Fury, the mastermind behind the original attack, arranged for a cache of explosives to be stashed just across the Thandol Span in Arathi Highlands. If those explosives make it to the bridge, our major supply line to the north will be severed. The cache must be destroyed, adventurer. Return to me when your mission is complete. You're our only hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Alright, so this is not a difficult quest. So we did bam, 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 bam. And we have, checked those off. Okay, so this one, you just have to go right over the edge. Excuse me, what? Now, there are these 2 quests we don't want to forget. MacKreel's Moonshine, Sully Balloo's Letter. But we're not going to mess with that quite yet, even though it seems like this might be a good time to do it. It doesn't really matter. So, if you go across, there's really 2 ways. You can jump in the water, go up the ramp right there, and then come in the back way. That is the... If you fall in the water, or when we fall in the water, that's also the way we're gonna get in there. We're gonna get back up. But when you're going through this quest, you can just go ahead and march across the bridge. There's not, you have to get to this cart right there. You only have to kill a couple guys. They're not elites. It's just a regular old quest. So we are aggroing 3. I don't even care. We're gonna go ahead and do what we can do. Okay, that one's going. This one's bam, whamming us with yikes. Oh! Oh! I was actually about to pop a potion too. Something got me. Oh, we're to the south. I should know this graveyard because I used it about 800 times before this episode started. Yeah, these quests, man, in Stromgarde are annoying. Like, almost every quest in this zone, I'd say 75% of them are elite quests that have you going back into Stromgarde. They're time-consuming. When we do them, and I'm not doing... Because I kind of do a crawl, really, and I do an episode, a quest at a time, and I really explore. I try to find the shortcuts. I try to do whatever, any hiccups that might happen, so that when we do this show, I can offer you guys my advice on what I've learned. But it makes it go very, very slow. When we do them, we are going to be, searching for groups and doing them in batches, so they should at least go a little faster. It's also why I cover so much more ground in this show for with the same time span that I might do. Like, this episode will be an hour and a half long, and we're going to finish, 10, 15 quests. Compared to, like I said, I did an hour and a half with one quest. Alright, so that was me being dumb. I could have bubbled. I could have used a potion. I was not safe. If this was, like, hardcore or whatever, I should have immediately ran when I aggroed 3 guys. And while they were not super hard, I didn't have to. As I just said, we had other options at our disposal. I just was sloppy, and it cost me time, because here we are running back to the quest. So as we travel today, too, we'll talk about some other more boring housekeeping style things. Okay, obviously we got to kill this fool. I don't know. See, there's a bombardier. I don't know if I just got unlucky and critted me, if I was not accurately watching, like where you get a lot of that dark iron leather. I don't know what happened, but here's where we bomb the thing. I don't know that anything special happens when we bomb them. Let's see. Pew 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 pew. Okay, so it's bombed. Good for us. We'll go back over the bridge now. And tell him we bombed them. I think there is another quest in the series after this. If you look, we're going to about Plea to the Alliance. Oh, a grim task we also just finished off. Mark that? Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, we're already getting really close. This is not going to happen until we go back to Ironforge. That's Stormwind. This is a chain where this cluster we're about to do right now, we're going to turn this one in, so then Plea to the Alliance. My guess is Plea to the Alliance is going to send us either back to Ironforge or Stormwind, one of the two. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But we're basically, this is all dealing with the fact that the Dark Irons further, in addition to all the other things that they've been doing, because when you look up, we already saw that their base, or at least one of their old bases. Oh no, that's not their base. Grimbatal. Actually, I think it was one of their bases, but they also, yeah, I think Grimbatal was one of their bases. So this is kind of Dark Iron Central.
The remaining bridge is saved! You have done a great service to King Magni and the people of Dun Modr. Now, if we can only hold out long enough for reinforcements to show, I ask of you one more small favor, adventurer. We await the reserves of Ironforge. However, Morogh has knowledge of an alliance camp to the north in Arathi Highlands at Refuge Point. Travel there and seek out Captain Niles. Ask the good captain if the alliance can spare some soldiers to help us reclaim Dun Modr and the Thandol Span.
Okay, so even better, it's up at Nigel's Point, which we already need to go that and do that as part of what we're all about right now. All right, so cool. The Thandol Span 3 done, bam, and then Plea to the Alliance. Perfect. All right, so now if we can get these 2 quests, we are in the home stretch of this zone. Excusez-moi. And then we're just going to be picking up everything else that we need for stockades. And we'll look at the spreadsheet for that, but it's pretty much going to tend to send us into Red Ridge and into Duskwood within Stormwind itself. There's a little prereq there. But here's the tricky part. Alright, so pretty much every class can find some way to do this. But you have to make a jump. You have to jump in order to get this quest, MacKreel's Moonshine. You have to make the jump over here. Have to make it there. So, let's think about what we can do class by class. Warrior, you're screwed. Unless you already have a mount at this point, there's no natural way a warrior can make that jump. Which means you're gonna have to go buy a speed potion. where you're gonna need somebody to buff you, such as a mage with like Featherfall. So boom, warriors, you're already screwed. Paladins, I hope with the natural passive buff, we're gonna find out right now that we can make the jump. I think we can. Okay, hunters, you could just use Aspect of the Cheetah, easy peasy. Shamans, you can go into Ghost Wolf form, boom. If you are a night elf of any class, you can die right here, and you have to die like right here because you have to be able to res over there. What you do, and I actually did this with the night elf, you lure those dark irons, you slowly kite them over here, and you have them kill you right around here. And then, or any mob, you could do it with a raptor or something if you can get one. I did it with the dark iron dwarves. Then you can use your wisp form, which has a passive speed buff, to make the jump and then res on the other side. So if you're a night elf warrior, you can get through that. What else do we have? Okay, so rogues just use sprint, easy peasy. Druids, you can get into cat form and or travel form to make the jump, easy peasy. What are we missing? Okay, priests, you're probably screwed unless you've hit level 40, I think, whenever it is you get levitate. If you've got levitate, you can use levitate to get across. Otherwise, you're stuck. Mage can just use Featherfall, and you'll be okay. Warlocks, you're screwed also. Yeah. So Warlocks, but at least with Warlocks, you could use like Hellfire or something. You could spam kill yourself right here. But then that's still not going to be enough because of the speed buff. But actually, if you can get yourself far enough, like let's say you do die like right here, you could just res over there. Oh, but you need to be able to make it over there as a ghost. Yeah, so you're probably screwed. Now, are we going to be able to make this jump right now? I don't know. We're going to see. You want to definitely get as far as you can. Okay, we're going to try it. Oh, we just missed. Okay, I don't know. We might be able to still make it. I'm going to try again. Dang, that was super, super, super close. So that makes me feel like there's a small chance that we can do it. I really hope so. Are there any passive ways that we can increase our speed? I don't have any speed potions on this character. I don't think. Yikes. Now, if we really get stuck, I'm not going to go buy a speed thing. What I will do is see if there are any mages that are nearby that could cast Featherfall on me. But I'm going to try. Supposedly, there are... Now, I didn't have this problem. So here's how I did this. Oh, another thing you could do is just... you could just get someone of one of those classes that can get it. They can party up with you. The quest is shareable. So, for instance, when I did this on my Warlock, my wife is a rogue. She got it as a rogue, and then she shared the quest with me. When I did this on my mage, I used Featherfall. I've done this probably on other classes too. But again, this is only Alliance, so that passive speed buff wasn't quite enough. That guy is now aggroing on. I don't want to try the death thing because I don't think it's going to work. But maybe we can make that jump if I just... Like, that, we were so darn close that I'm still not completely giving up on this yet. I really think there's a chance. This, I think it was like I just did. I think you got to go kind of peak to peak here. No, I didn't even press jump. That was a failed attempt. So as you can see, this can be tricky. I wish one of these gave us some kind of buff to speed. Or all of the cool things you can do in retail. Like in retail, you can use the little Crusader thing that gives you like 2 to 3 seconds of riding a fake horse. As a warrior, you can use leap. That would be really cool, but we don't have anything like this. We have Blessing of Freedom. No, that's just some movement and pairing effects. Yeah, so if we can't... Let's see. We'll go ahead and look up... What's it called? MacKreel's Moonshine. We'll go ahead and look it up. MacKreel's Moonshine. Just to give us something to do as we walk and see. Because there's somebody that does a really good chart of this. There we go. Look. Paladins. It says, yeah, with Pursuit of Justice, you should be able to do it. I've never fully confirmed, but you saw how close we were. We were really, really, really close. So... What's our record time? Okay, only about 30 minutes. We're good. I want to finish at a moderate time, because it's back in the school season for my son. So yeah, but like I said, when we get to the housekeeping stuff as we run around, I'll talk about that a little bit. I had a, you want to talk about running around in circles. This happens to me sometimes. You just never know what kind of day it's going to be. There's a lot of days where I'm running around doing kind of a more tech support type of role at my job. Ooh. Let's whisper them. So look, they're right there. So they are right back there. Now slow fall is the best. If she can slow fall me, then you can just float right over. It's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, a mage. They obviously did it with that. Oh. They're just... I didn't know that. I guess you can't put slow fall on others. So maybe they will try for me, but... Oh. Okay. Alright, so I guess it's not shareable. I really thought it was shareable. He says it gives you MacKreel's Moonshine. You can do it. We just have to hit it up. Ah! She says, I don't know why they want me to wait there. I don't know what the thing is. So anyway, I thought you could slow fall others. Anyway, maybe I was wrong about where to jump from, and maybe they're going to show me a better spot. I've always thought you wanted to jump off at that one spot. So, could be wrong. But let's see what they're going to do since they are supposedly here to help. I also just botched the jump. I didn't even jump that last time either. I'm trying to wait so long that I'm botching the jump. So, supposedly, I would think that with Pursuit of Justice, you can do it. You just need a tiny little speed boost. So the 8% speed boost we're getting with this should work. I'm not worried about these guys. She can go ahead and clear them out, but not worried. So maybe she's gonna just show a better jump spot. I don't know. And it's very possible that they know a better one. When I've researched this online and done it myself, I've gone off that kind of spur I was on. But maybe it is better. I haven't done a ton of research on it because I've always managed to find a way. I could have sworn you could have shared it, but maybe. But I guess I was wrong. I got stuck in that little divot right there too. Now, if that is a hunter, he might be able, he is a hunter. He could maybe do aspect. I don't know if you get that at level 32, but you could maybe do like aspect of the cheetah. That might give me that enough of a speed boost. Okay, so if you're perfectly lined, I don't think that's enough. I don't think you can jump it, but I mean, so they're kind of. Okay, so they're saying jump to that tip. All right. Alright, so they're just trying to show me, so that's fine. So we're going to figure it out. So basically, they're saying try it from there. I don't know if that's the right spot. If you look at the research online, they're basically saying you'll see a broken part off the bridge at 42,990. To make the jump, go to the pointing extension to the right of the bridge and jump over to the other side. And then, yeah. So, they're saying the pointing extension is what I was on, I believe. So, it's just going to take us a few tries. We've really only even had one try, and we were so ridiculously close. I just keep missing the actual jump. I'm jumping a second too late. Whew. But yeah, we'll get it. I think maybe if I'm gonna try to zoom in, just pinch. Not worried about these guys. Yeah, and I was like I said, if you just have a slight speed buff, I think you have a 10% speed buff if you're a night elf, and I've made the jump with the night elf wisp form. So 8% should get us there. That 2% of speed shouldn't. I mean, you're so close. I've gotten so close on it without any kind of secondary character. Now again, that hunter, he can use the speed. All these other people, she can use her thing. Alright, we're super close right here. Oh gosh, I just walked right off. Jeez Louise. Now, when we're down here, we are going to get Sully Balloo's letter, but I want to pick up MacKreel's Moonshine first, and then we have to jump down here. So I'm trying to make this all go in one session. Not looking very good. So, like in terms of my skill here, basically what I would suggest is pretend that I'm being awesome. I promise this can be done. And even though it doesn't look like it, I've done it. The last time I did it, I did do it on my mage, and there's no skill required. You just put slow fall on yourself and float over. I truly thought you could slow fall other people. Didn't realize it was self only. I could swear you can put it on. Actually, you can. You can put slow fall on others. Maybe they just don't have a light feather on them or something like that. But I am like 82% certain you can slow fall your people even in classic. So now you could, if you had a mount, you could also just mount up and jump. So if you get to level 40, you could just scrap the whole thing if you want. The quest is really cool. No, this one's not. This one doesn't even matter. I think the XP is okay. So there's no real need to complete this before you get to 40 unless you're a crazy completionist like me and you're trying to check every box in every zone before you go. In which case, I do this, what we're doing right now. Also, as we just talked about, 60, half the people can do it easily. So if you are lucky enough to be a shaman or a druid or a rogue or a mage, then it's easy peasy. We're gonna get this. I'm gonna go ahead and it's going exactly right now. Zoom in a little bit so I can see a little bit better. Oh my gosh! Look, we were so close. Okay. Yikes. I mean, like, that was even closer than the first time we did it. Like, we were touching the thing. We were right there. Okay, so, wipe that one off. No worries. It'd be cool if we were like shaman and we could put water walking, but then we would have just used ghost form. A speed potion also would do it. If you happen to have a speed potion, if you're an alchemist, save one. If you get one in a random drop somewhere. For some reason I have one on one of my characters, just chilling. Of course I didn't send it to old Glee Contessa here, so, and I think it might be on one of my horde characters. You could go to the auction house and buy some too, but it's probably like a gold or something or more, and I'm not paying. We're saving up for a mount hypothetically, even though we're gonna get a free mount. We're also gonna be saving up for a paid mount, or maybe not. Actually, on this character, we probably won't. I'll save the money until level 60 in case there's some kind of crazy investment we need for something. Don't know what, but. Alright, trying it again. We were so close on that last jump. And I just don't see the math working where, like she said, where it's like... I mean, I'll try it. We can try her jump too. But I think that the lineup that she showed is only going to work if you have more of a speed buff. I also don't know why they're chilling over here for so long. See, she showed using this kind of jutting area right here. Now, the only reason why that one might work is because it is the shortest distance over to the thing. So, the difference with this one is we get to go out so much further. But... are we more over? Maybe. I cannot believe I just did that. I am the worst player. All right, let's look a video of it. How about that? While we're walking, let's check a video out of someone without a speed buff. So someone is doing a guide. I don't want the we don't want the video, but let's see where they're at with the jump. Now, they are a freaking hunter, so it doesn't matter. Never mind. They're useless to us because they have aspect on. 0 speed jump. Love it. All right, let's see what they got here. So they do go to that one. That little point right there. Then what? What the heck? Wait, what? Do that again. How'd he get there? Okay, we gotta check that out. That looks like a weird glitch. Swimming underwater. Okay, we can check that one out. If we fail again, we'll check that one out. I completely screwed up last time. I suck. I do have... But he's like standing at a weird... Like a glitch in the air on that chain. I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't... That seems tricky, though. I think if I can actually press the jump button, then... that would be... probably beneficial. We've only had 2 times out of the 10 times, or... I think it's been at least 8 times that we've gone... And, I think I only actually pressed jump twice. Let's party, bruh. Alright, let's try this again. So, I mean, I'm trying to do the math on the angles, too. If the distance out and up is greater, if we come over here... Okay, I see what they're saying. Okay, so we're gonna try it. That was worse. That wasn't... See, that wasn't any closer. Alright, let's see what this crazy person's doing. No, I want to, like, skim up on their thing. Alright, so they go to the edge. They hit jump and up. Barely any. And they're standing on the edge of this. Look, that's crazy. And then jumping up and they get there. That's insane. Okay, can we do one without a gimmick? Nope, I don't want an ad. Sorry. MacKreel's Moonshine. Skip it. Alright, let's just see what this nope, they have aspect of the cheetah. You guys suck. There we go. No speed increase. So here's what we got. This is a person. Oh, well, they're about to do the same glitch as the other guy. What are they jumping onto? Look, it's a thing up in the air. Okay, we'll try it. I'll try that glitch. I've never seen that before or heard that until with you guys right here. So they're going right onto the edge of that little dot and then doing a jump. Let's look at it one more time, how they do the jump onto the chain. Okay, I see what they're doing. You're jumping like a projection off of that chain right there. Okay, let's try it. Seems weird, but I'll go for it. Considering now I've done 3 attempts at pressing the... I also feel like we were a lot closer with the coming off the corner. So if I can just do... Really, it should just be a matter of math. So if I have to make another not fake attempt, but running attempt, if I just look, there's really no need. If I came on, like if we came over here, if we just got as close as we could to the end, and then we're really shooting for that corner. But let's try this weird thing right here. Okay. So they're like right here. Look, there is a freaking, look at that thing. It is, it's like an invisible thing in here. That's crazy. Oh, I still missed, but that worked. That one I was just a little bit off on my angling. Okay, and it's like a pretty big platform for what we could jump to. So, okay. That seems like it's going to work. So there's an invisible extension on this chain right here. We just got to kind of see. Let me look and see just how far they can. Oh, that's still a little bit. Wait a little bit. Okay, so they're kind of just trying to see just about where they are up in the air. Alright, so this is taking us quite a bit of time to do this. It's not difficult, it's just a matter of repetition. I guess. Go for what I just... Go for what... Try any other ones, I mean, whatever. I hope that you have the means to not need to do this over and over again. And we actually have it easy, because we're a paladin. We should be able to make that jump. What I would love to see is that without a paladin. Normal jump. See, here you have another one. This is somebody on Twitch. I'm gonna wait and just... Okay, there we go. See, this guy's coming off of here. He made it. Look at that. What a little jerk. So that dude did make it, but like as you saw, it was so close. We're gonna try one more with this chain. Because that was actually pretty glitchy and special there. And I think that would give us... Oh, fuck, it worked. Look, we did it. Alright, so that seems to be easier than anything else we've done, is use that chain glitch. Thank gosh. And then I jump off. So here's MacKreel. Foggy MacKreel.
Had quite a bit of the old moonshine last night. Longbraid would have my head if he
First
knew
try.
that I passed out during my watch. The noggin hurt something fierce. Felt as though a whole brigade of siege engines passed overhead. All that rumbling. Oh my, look at the time. I promised Brewmeister Bilger in South Shore that I'd repay my debt to him by sending some moonshine. But there are just 15 minutes left before I'm overdue. Take him this batch, would you please? And hurry!
Alright, so we are now on a 15-minute timer. But before 15 minutes is fine. You just have to make it to South Shore, I believe, in that time. But we also need to go down here. There's a quest down here. You're looking for like a dwarf that's dead on the ground. There they are. And see, there's a little letter in their hand. We're going to pick it up and start the quest, but we're going to read it as we run since we're on a timer. Okay, cool. Alright, so we pick up this quest as well. The waterlogged envelope. The waterlogged and war-torn envelope dissolves in your hands, leaving you with a few pages of a letter in your grasp, written with painstaking care. The letter is addressed to a Mrs. Sara Balloo of Ironforge and begins, "My dear Sara." And we're going to read this thing as we run around. This is... we've read this on one of the previous episodes, but it's worth another read in case you're just following along now. I've read research or whatever on this. People have pointed out that there is I don't know if it's like a Ken Burns documentary or what it is, but there is a series of letters that are from Civil War era times from... I don't know if it's Confederate, Union, I don't know what kind of soldiers. But essentially this is an excerpt from letters from the real Civil War, really written home to their family. And this is almost a verbatim, it's a very heavily influenced letter version of that. Just instead of it being people in the United States, it being dwarves talking about the war in the front. So here we go. Dun Modr of the Wetlands. My dear Sara, the indications are very strong that we shall move to take watch over the Thandol Span in a few days. Lest I shall not be able to write to you again, I feel impelled to write a few lines that may fall under your eye when I shall be no more. So already sad because we're talking about like if this is a letter he probably never sent, was found on his body and was designed to be given to his Sara, if he's dead, and we found it on his dead body. Our assignment may be one of a few days' duration and full of pleasure, and it may be one of severe conflict and death to me. If it is necessary that I should fall on the battlefield for the Alliance, I am ready. I have no misgivings about or lack of confidence in the cause in which I am engaged, and my courage does not halt or falter. I know how strongly the Kingdom of Ironforge leans on the triumph of the Alliance, and how great a debt we owe to those who went before us through the blood and suffering of the Great Wars, and I am willing, perfectly willing, to lay down all my joys in this life to help maintain this alliance, and to pay that debt. Sara, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me in mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence could break, and my love of kingdom comes over me like a strong wind and bears me irresistibly on with all these chains to the battlefield. The memories of all the blissful moments I have spent with you come creeping over me, and I feel most deeply grateful to the light and you that I have enjoyed them so long, and how hard it is for me to give them up and burn to ashes the hopes of future years, when we might still have lived in love together and seen our sons grow up to honorable dwarfhood around us. I know I have but few and small claims upon divine providence, but something whispers to me, perhaps it is the wafted prayer of my little Edgar, that I shall return to my loved ones unharmed. If I do not, my dear Sara, never forget how much I love you, and when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, I shall whisper your name. Forgive my many faults and the many pains I have caused you, how thoughtless, how foolish I have oftentimes been, how gladly I would wash out with my tears every little spot upon your happiness, and struggle with all the misfortunes of this world to shield you and my dear children from harm. But I cannot. I must watch you from the twisting nether, and hover near you, while you buffet the storms with your precious little freight, and wait with sad patience till we meet to part no more. But, oh Sara, if the dead can come back to Azeroth and flit unseen around those they love, I shall always be near you in the gladdest day, and in the darkest night amidst your happiest scenes and gloomiest hours, always, always. And if there be a soft breeze upon your cheeks, it shall be my breath. As the cool air fans your throbbing temple, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sara, do not mourn me dead. Think I am gone and wait for thee, for we shall meet again. Sully.
Hello.
Sad.
My condolences go out to Longbraid and his brave soldiers. The news of the Thandol Span tragedy and the fall of Dun Modr hangs heavy in my heart, but Stromgarde has fallen. Hence our presence here at Refuge Point. We are faced with retaking our own great city. Honor and duty require that we do not leave the Highlands until Stromgarde raises the mighty banner of the king once again. I will send word to Longbraid that he is on his own.
Okay. So that was the end of the Thandol Span questline, and thank you for whoever it was that posted that on Twitch. You nailed it. That was great. I'm glad about that glitch, and I like to see it without. Even though a few people posted it, that was a pretty good one. So, Plea to the Alliance we did just turn in, but before we did that, we actually picked up MacKreel's Moonshine first and foremost. And we're on a timer right now. It took 5 minutes to walk up there, even with the detour. So you're fine if you don't. And then we picked up Sully Balloo's letter as well. Drop quest, technically, and kind of in a way. We picked that one up too. So we'll get a few more, but we're really getting near the end. Right now we're on the... So even if you don't have the flight path to South Shore yet, you can easily make the run over within 15 minutes. We still had 10 minutes with it. We're barely taking a minute to get there. But we're going to be turning in MacKreel's Moonshine. Bam, bam, that's a kind of a one-shot. Off we go. And then we're going to Hearthstone back to Stormwind. We have got a couple things to do over there, including... We're going to have to look as we... I know we've got to go to Redridge. So we will start... When we go to Stormwind, we have some things to turn in, but we're going to put some work in. Alright, so in the back here is probably where we're going to turn in this Moonshine. Yep, in the basement.
Great to meet you.
What's the good word, human?
Nothing like Foggy MacKreel's Moonshine to warm you up on a brisk day.
55
Here
silver,
I
not
was
too
thinking
shabby.
The little bugger was going to be overdue on his bills again. Thank you, friend.
Alright, cool for us. So, we are now done actually in the area, but we have... I would like to try to pick up as many of these Stormwind quests, I mean, Stockades quests as we can. We have to do a little work, though, before we come back here. I think I want to finish us in Stockades. So we're going to go finish with Cleansing the Eye. That'll be what we do at the end. We're actually going to go over and fly a little bit, and we're going to look up what we need, but I know for a fact we have to go to Duskwood, we have to go to Red Ridge. So if we look, I'll pick Red Ridge first. That's probably one of the lower ones. We've already picked up the Fury runs deep, but the Stockades are kind of weird. It's an easy dungeon to do, but there are so many quests associated with it in a way.
No paths that
I'm gonna go to Red Ridge. Okay, so we turned in MacKreel's Moonshine. Nice. Bada bing, bada boom. That one just gives you the 55 silver. It's all done. So we're getting really, really close here. Cleansing the Eye, we're going to get when we're there. We're going to go turn this in when we get to Ironforge. We're not forgetting it. Plea to the Alliance. Plea to the Alliance we turned in. Did I mark that off? No. This actually should have gone here. Plea to the Alliance, we should have got that one right here. Because we turned that one in when we hit Refuge Point. Alright, so there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quests to do. The Sully Balloo, that's all in Ironforge. That's Ironforge. And that's actually probably where we'll finish off, going around that path. But let's look at the Stockades quests on our sheet here. Okay, so if we look at the original, we can go back up to the top here too. We've got the Fury runs deep, which is right here. Now there are a bunch in Stormwind. There's also Red Ridge, Duskwood. So those are the other 3, not counting that. So we do have to go to Red Ridge here, then Duskwood, and then we're going to go back to Stormwind where we will clear out the Cleansing the Eye. We'll also run around and pick up whatever other quests we can get in that area. So this one is going to be what comes around. That's the next one that we're going for. This is the Red Ridge quest that we're going to pick up. Bam. Bam. I mean, we're doing all pickups right now, so I don't mind doing it like that. And then we're going to fly to Duskwood. So after this is all done, we're essentially... So everything except Wetlands is then going to get some representation in where we were. Man, we should have finished this so much faster, but now we're at an hour. We'll still be okay. Because everything that we're going to do is pretty quick. A lot of conversation and travel. We're just picking things up right now. So also, if you wanted to, and you had the room in your quest log, as you were doing these zones, you could have picked these quests up. I just felt like we would have time to go grab them. Here we go. I'm going to grab them and let them talk as we run.
Targor the Dread served under Gath Ilzog as Supreme Executioner. His methods were ruthless, even by filthy orc standards. Men who fought bravely to defend the kingdom were tortured on his whim. Now, he is being held in the Stormwind Stockade, sentenced to die. Yet something is amiss. One of the bureaucratic nobles put a hold on his execution. I am sure foul play is in the works. Put an end to Targor the Dread, adventurer, travel to the Stockade, and behead him before trickery is upon us.
Okay, so what we're basically saying is the Blackrock Orcs also have someone that was their Supreme Executioner. He was caught, brought to trial. They were going to execute him. And for some reason, he is being left alive in the Stockades. We also, if you remember what we just did, there was a Dark Iron criminal who is behind the blowing up of the Thandol Span. He was captured, put in jail, brought to trial, and for some reason they're letting him. And now Ironforge and the leader of Ironforge is kind of pissed about that, and they want him dead. So Lakeshore here, these people are like, so good. Okay. So after this, yeah, we're also going to pick up one more here in Duskwood. Let's mark that one off. Which that's this one, Crime and Punishment. So probably also something similar here. Let's go ahead and spread this out a little bit. So after this, we have to go back to Stormwind, which is fine. These are luckily all close to each other. This is really not a big deal. We're spending a little bit of gold as we fly around, but we have some things to sell that we haven't sold. We have a little bit of ore we can mess with. I don't really care that much. And we need to go to the mayor himself.
As if the neglect for the residents of Duskwood was not bad enough now, the House of Nobles spits in the eye of the Darkshire Council with their decision to imprison Dextrin Ward in Stormwind, rather than behead the villain as per Lord Ebenlock's sentence. Ward was caught selling bodies from the cemetery to Morbin Fell, a crime punishable by death. Yet Stormwind claims Ward as their prisoner. Assassinate Ward in the Stormwind Stockade, bring me his hand, and I shall reward you.
See you around.
Okay, back to Stormwind we go. So, well, let's recap what that one just was. So this is Dextrin Ward. And of course, the Duskwood is particularly mad because they've already been left to rot, and now they said there is a guy named Dextrin Ward. Who is he? Well, he was sentenced to death by Lord Ebenlock. He was caught selling bodies from the cemetery to Morbin Fell, which they sentenced him to death. He goes to Stormwind, and the House of Nobles has imprisoned him in the stockades rather than execute him. So here we have multiple situations here where notorious villains from Duskwood, from Redridge, from the Wetlands, so Dark Iron, Blackrock, necromantic people, they're all being kept almost like an Arkham Asylum style situation rather than being like taken care of. Alright, so let's look at what we have going on here. We're also, while we're in Stormwind now, those two we don't need, that we don't need. Just kind of looking. Of course we have Quell the Uprising we're going to need. Color of Blood, no, no, no. Basil Thread. Okay, so let's do a little bit of pinchy poo work here. As we go forward, Basil Thread is a nice, easy one to do. That's one that will require some conversation. We're going to pick that one up. We also want to go ahead and take care of cleansing the eye. At the end of this whole thing, we are going to go to Ironforge, and that's when I'm done picking up everything, we're going to actually log an Ironforge. And I will make the run when I'm recruiting for a team to maybe tomorrow, maybe not. That's something else that I kind of want to update my schedule. Is engineering 150 the max level? No, bro. Bro. No. 300, bro. No, it's 300, bro. I guess maybe you might think that because you have to go to a special place to get the rest. So, I could see that. Alright, so Tinkmaster Overspark, that's actually a breadcrumb that leads you to set up for Nomergon. We don't need that yet. Missing Diplomat, that we're still not doing that. Brother Anton, that's a Scarlet Crusade breadcrumb. So we're going to go ahead and finish off cleansing the eye.
Welcome to the Cathedral.
What is it, that orb you have? It looks soiled.
An Eye of Pallet, but this one has seen much
Better
sorrow,
walk
It must have been witness to a terrible, terrible tragedy. Let me cleanse it, for the eyes were created to shine bright, and their
Like a
powers
sun.
can be quite dangerous if tainted like this one. ...
Okay, so that's it. He just cleansed it for us. Nothing special here. Now we're going to go pick up Basil Thread. up here wrong. Alright, see, look, they're already looking for stocks DPS. That could be us, but not today. Alright, here's this homeboy.
Van Cleef and I were members of the Stonemason Guild.
So,
our main project was
the
to
breadcrumb.
rebuild Stormwind after the war. When we had finished our duties, we were cheated. The nobles refused to pay us for our work. Some of the more senior of the stonemasons were offered governmental jobs, but Van Cleef refused it out of loyalty to all the stonemasons. He led a riot and left the city, swearing revenge. His lieutenant, Basil Thread, might know more about Van Cleef's plans. He's being held prisoner in the stockade.
Okay, so that's actually kind of cute, though. Imagine, imagine just not even knowing if 150 was the max engineering. I think it's kind of interesting. Like, there's got to be some people that are like newish to the game, right? Still, 20 years later. I sign if you pay. No, man, just don't sign. I just don't like that. If they're offering tips, cool, but maybe you just can't afford it. Maybe you don't want to. Like when I created this guild, I had no money to give people. I just asked people out of the kindness of their heart, and they did it. It was pretty fast. I've made a couple guilds, and it's been pretty fast. Alright, so this is the Stockade's dungeon, the jail itself. So we're going to turn in Basil Thread. I did not forget about the spreadsheet.
Need help?
Doing it in a second.
Over here, you worthless. If you want to do something useful, listen quick.
What in the light do you want? Can't you see we have a crisis here? Basil Thread! Why would you want to speak with that bastard? How am I supposed to know you're not one of his cronies? Come down to help with his bloody riot. If all the blasted cells weren't open, I might throw you in one for a while. Let's get one thing straight, adventurer. I don't trust you, but with the situation as it is, you probably won't make a difference. So here's how it's going to be. Go down there and have your talk with Thread. If you're really on our side, then kill him and bring me his head when the job's done. And if it turns out you're on his side and don't come out, when we find you, you'll die along with the rest of the maggots. The uprising must be quelled. I need your assistance. If word gets out that the prison is overrun, I will lose my job. This is a case of foul play if I've ever seen one. But what's important now is forcing these prisoners into submission for the safety of Stormwind. The punishment for insurgency is death. Kill some of these deviants. That'll get things under control.
Okay, cool. We will definitely do that. We're also going to look for her to pick up Color of Blood, and then we're going to go hop on the tram, and we're going to go work on some of that stuff while we... She's usually down here. She's like chilling or whatever. It's an old woman you're looking for, but she does pat around, so that's not her. Accessories Quartermaster. So we're gonna follow her little pat path. She can be inside some of the buildings. I've seen her tucked away. You just kind of gotta look for her little. There she is, right there. Right.
Bitterness flows through my veins like a cold river. My grandson, Mac, was such a good boy, a mere 14 years old. When the army was sent off to the front, Mac took up arms to defend the city. He was a guard in the stockade, where the Defias gang is locked up. Mac reprimanded some of the prisoners for tearing their wool blankets to make scarves, a symbol of their gang, for that Mac was stabbed in the back. I want revenge. Bring me 10 of their precious wool bandanas. They are the color of blood.
Okay, so let's talk about the different things that we've just done. First of all, we also need to go to the tram. Okay, so we went to talk to the guy about Basil's... the guy that... Basil Thread is the guard. And he... No, I'm sorry, he wasn't the guard. We went and talked to the dude, and he basically said, we are trash. And he goes, okay, I don't trust you, but... Look, if I let you go in there to kill Basil Thread, and Basil Thread is the guy that is supposedly, you know... a traitor that was associated with Van Cleef, he's like, it's not going to freaking matter. So, you know what? Go down there. Have a little talk with him. Find out what happens. And if you're on our side, then kill him. And if you're not on our side, then we'll eventually get a chance to go in there and kill you. Okay, and he is just one more element. He's former Defias, or associated with the Defias, I believe. We can kind of take a peek at that quest. He also says, while you're in there, clean it up. Again, this is kind of like Batman Arkham Asylum. We're going to go in there, we're going to kill all the prisoners. We're going to kill 10 prisoners, 8 convicts, 8 insurgents. Now, I really believe there's a sort of randomness to how these guys spawn. And there is a strong chance you will not get all of them in one run, and you'll have to reset and go back in, or whatever. I want to look at that quest Basil thread and just see what it says. I want to read the text of the whole thing. Okay, that's actually... I'm looking for the quest. Make sure we're not missing it. Okay. He says, Van Cleef was a member of the Stonemasons Guild. When we finished, we were cheated. The nobles refused to pay our work. His lieutenant was Basil Thread. He might know more about Van Cleef's plans. So basically kind of vague. But it does open up this cool chain. The Stockades Riot, and then further. So, oops. I don't know it. Ooh, come on. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. There we go. We got it just in time. Just in time. All right. And so we're to kill Basil Thread when we go in there. And then the woman also said that, like, my child was a 14-year-old, and he was a guard for the stockade at 14, and the Defius gang are the gang that has taken over the prison, and they've changed their blankets into the masks that they've used before, and they killed my son when they took over the prison. So we have all these reasons why they want to go after Basil Thread. Now, I don't know what this is, so we do Stockades Riots, Basil Thread, but then Curious Visitor? Speak to Elias, Shadow of the Past. I think that's part of the chain that we'll do after we finish Stockades, which, again, depends on how long it's going to take us to run Stockades. We might do that in one run or not. I need to open up my spreadsheet here. We'll do that. We have to run. We're going to have to run a little bit out. So while we're here, let's turn in Sully Balloo's letter. We're going to have a few quests here. So as we're running over, let's go to the spreadsheet that we have here. Okay, so we did pick up those two. Now we picked up Basil Thread. Sure. I'm going to just go ahead and put that there. And we turned that one in. Okay. We're going to talk about Sully Balloo's letter right now. But that means we can actually go back to the main part. We did Basil Thread. That's done.
Welcome.
You look as though you have travelled a great distance and seen much turmoil in your time, Paladin. These times we live in are trying on the soul. What news do you bring to me now?
You say you saw my Sully pinned beneath the icy waters? Say it isn't so. Let me read what he wrote. Adventurer, I have but a small request to ask of you.
She
Take this note I have
reads it
prepared
page by
for our
page.
great monarch of Ironforge, King Magni Bronzebeard.
This isn't
It
fair.
is a small task to ask of one such as yourself, someone who has shown great valor to the cause of the Alliance thus far. For me to go before the king in my grief-ridden state would not serve the purpose of my cause. Surely you understand.
And she says,
This isn't fair, my dearest Sully. Come back to me. No, ugly Contessa. Why did you bring me such news?
now she wants us to bring this letter of petition to the king. To my honorable king, 'tis not the place of a lowly soldier's wife to question the actions of great leaders such as yourself. The battles that rage across our lands are being fought to preserve the great life we know and love, from the cool waters of Loch Modan to the brisk, snow-capped peaks of Dun Modr. But the wars we wage in the name of preservation are to come at what cost? Upon the death of which fallen soldier do we realize that the very life we strive to save is slipping from us on the battlefield? Under how many swords and axes must we throw our future? Under how many feet of sodden soil must we bury our past? It is not the place of the lowly soldier's wife to ask such questions, yet I write to you now as the lowly soldier's widow. My husband might have been one soldier in the ranks of thousands to you. To me, he was the great Sully Balloo, father of my children and my one partner in this life. Forgive me if my questions to you, O great leader, ring inappropriate, but the dead cannot ask these questions for themselves. Your loyal subject, Sara Balloo. Quite sad and touching, this storyline. This is part of what makes World of Warcraft great. I love it.
How can the dwarves help you?
So you are Gley, Contessa the Paladin. News of your contributions to the Alliance has travelled quite far, you know. On what business do you come before me today?
It will take but a moment for me to peruse this letter. I do not expect good dwarves like Mrs. Balloo to understand why the travesties of war must be endured for the greater good of our people. The loss of her husband, and the loss of every dwarf that fights in the name of the Alliance. While I cannot bring her husband back from the twisting nether, I can pay tribute to him. I'm going to commission a memorial to Sully Balloo to be built by Grand Mason Mableston. Send word to him now, adventurer. You shall be custodian of my bidding.
Okay, which is all good, and I appreciate what he's trying to do, and it's a cool thing, but also, what are you going to do? A statue for every single soldier? For the thousands? They don't. So there's a bittersweetness to this episode 2. In one of these buildings is this dude, I just can't remember. That's Guildmaster must be next door. It's a good thing you can climb up here. Because I fell in the pit. That is pretty... I also... I mean, I'm sure at some time in my gaming career I've fallen down there before, but I can't remember the last time. I'm just not on it with the hand-eye coordination today. I did run my freaking tail off, and I'm exhausted after today. There we go.
So King Magni Bronzebeard himself sent ye? My, this must be important. So our good
Alright, we're gonna pause this mission. We're not picking it up because that mission is best to be considered a Hillspread Foothills region mission, so we will pick it up. You know what? No, we will, and we'll have time to come back here. We will pick it up soon. We'll just do this after Stockades. We'll come back. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to pick it up to help me remember, and let's continue signing off on some of this. But basically, he wants us now to go get some granite to make this memorial, and it's cool, you know, cool little touch to this game. So let's continue on what we did. So we have what comes around, and we have Crime and Punishment. And Fury Runs Deep. So we did get Quell the Uprising from this guy. Okay, pick that up. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just... There's a bunch on here. We didn't need to do it. I probably should have done that smarter. Whoa! Dang it. This is what you get for texting and driving. Okay. Alright, we've got... This is just about where we're going to leave off, so I want to at least get our spreadsheet done. I didn't get to update you guys on how anything that's schedule related, housekeeping stuff. Alright, we did this one. Stockades Riots we also picked up, right? Because that's kill the Uprising, yeah, kill that, and then the Stockades Riots is the head of Basil Thread, yeah, like he's the guy that led the riots, basically. Okay, cool. So we've got all those. All of that old stuff is, so we have, oh, then the Color of Blood we picked up after. Okay, that was pretty much the last one we picked up. So we should have 1, 2, 3, we should have 6 quests, and we do, so that's it. All of the others are going to happen within the dungeon or their further chains. We also need to check off all of this stuff here too. So we turned in Sully Balloo's letter. Actually, before we did that, scratch that. We'll turn this in just a sec. Let's do what we have. We turned in Cleansing the Eye. Okay. And bam, bam. Then we turned in Sully Balloo's letter, Sully Balloo's plea, and a King's Tribute. So we did turn in, pick up, turn in, pick up, turn in. That's where we go to the guy and basically tell him. And here we go to the end. We're on the very last one, where we just checked all those off, and we're going to turn in the search for Incendicite. That's it. We will have this. Oops. We'll have this zone fully done, and we're set up for stockades. Rock and freaking roll. So yeah, we have 6 quests to do in the dungeon. Let's talk to this guy.
Interest you on a pint?
Where is that orderly, Contessa?
You got the ore! Well done, adventurer! I'll get someone to work with this right away. Let's hope he doesn't blow himself up.
Hey, Fizzer. I ever tell you the time I was riding to the canals and some goblins in shredder suits tried to ambush me? Let me see. There's probably nearing 100 times now, I wager.
So what I'll do is I'll be able to just hearth when I log back in, and we'll again the stocks pickup will be fast. Probably this quest will happen tomorrow. I would guess. Don't freak out if not. It's going to depend a little bit on my life schedule, and I'll talk to maybe tomorrow, if not the next one, about how that's going to go. But if not tomorrow, it'll be the next day for sure. Also, check out the Patreon if you want. I'll be posting. I'll be creating one, so I should be dropping another one for that tomorrow. But for now, we have another episode of the Pipe 5x5. And we have another zone done, wrapped in the Pipe 5x5. Thank you everybody so much for watching and for tuning in. I'll see you next time on Lore of Warcraft.